A very good afternoon to you, dear viewer. Thank you once again for making it a date with us on another episode of Punch Sports Extra. My name is Abiodun Adewale, standing by and, of course, reporting for duty this lovely Monday afternoon in the absence of Segun Odunwayo. Of course, you're in capable hands. And I've got Peter Akimbo joining me on the show this afternoon. Peter, 10 days into the Olympics, and we are here this afternoon. I don't even know where we will begin the talking points from all the events that went down yesterday and what we're expecting today.
Thank you very much for having me, Abiodun. Well, we've had a tournament to remember or to forget, but it's a memorable one nevertheless, and we are still hopeful of medals, and we'll see what we have today and what we have towards the end of the competition.
Well, talk about where to begin exactly. You know how we do it every Monday. We begin with the cover of a newspaper, of a paper, Punch Sport Extra, and when we have the one screaming, it was either a win or go home, and that was the fate of the Tigress yesterday when they took on Canada in their last game of the group stages of the women's basketball event yesterday. In the process, beating the Canadians 79 to 70 points, and of course 79 to 70 points and a 9-point gap, and becoming the first African team to reach the quarterfinals of the basketball event at the Olympics. Big achievement from at this point. Would you say the Tigers have overachieved already?
Well, they have achieved. They have overachieved based on the expectations that they had for them before the competition started, because a lot of people did not expect them to come out of that group. It was a group of death, almost like the Super Falcons as well.
Yeah.
So, and being the first African team between male and female, I have to get that distinction right, because a male team has not done it, a female team has not done it before, despite the quality that we've had in Africa over the years. So even South Sudan, with all the hype before the competition started, the male team, they didn't get there.
Well, I won't call that a hype because it was their debut at the Olympics as well, and they were more or less underdogs.
Yes, exactly.
They probably punched above their weight in that group that had the USA, Serbia, and Puerto Rico.
Of course. So I think that, yes, we may say that they have overachieved, but let's not keep our legs off the ball. We can still go for that.
We can still overachieve with
USA in the front,
waiting for us in the quarterfinals.
This Olympics has been very topsy-turvy for me and very scary, because it seems like all our draws, we've been beating the heavyweights at the almost every round, and now we are going to be facing USA in our first quarterfinal ever at this tournament. And the USA, obviously, we know what they are. They are always favorites for in basketball, gold medal, men, female. They have the best league in the world, so they have all the record holders there. So we just have to. Let's just see what they can do.
Their league is so good that they call the NBA champions
world champions.
We'll still come back to that with the men's 100 meters as well. We're still taking Olympic stories. We're still talking about Team Nigeria at the Olympics. Favor Ofili yesterday began a campaign in the 200 meters, the women's event. And she came out strong off the blocks, beating Dina Asha-Smith. I remember sometimes in 2021, before Blessing Okagbare was suspended for doping, the British media will always report Blessing Okagbare as Dina Asha-Smith's rival. But 4 years down the line, things have changed, and it's now Favor Ofili beating Dina Asha-Smith in one of the heats of the 200 meter. And today we will see her in the evening in the semi-finals. She says she is mentally ready. Yeah,
she has said that, and I think she is. She seems to have shrugged off the drama surrounding the 100 meter registration, and obviously it's still be a bit of a letdown, but she seems focused now. You know, when you've lost out on one, this is what you're facing now. You have to try and if she wins the gold, exactly. So if she can win the gold now, she has made that statement. Let's not push for the gold. She can win the gold now.
So at this point, the 100 meters case is about but and if.
Yes, a lot of or, because this lady also pulled out
Sherika
Jackson. So it's just a case that she has to forget about it, honestly. And we Nigerians also have to forget about it now. It's past. Someone knows the gold medal now, and that person is also competing with her in the 200 meters. So she has to have a full focus in line for this competition.
Oh, well, it's raining gold for some athletes already, although Team Nigeria is yet to lay their hands on any medals.
Not to talk of gold.
But talk about raining medals and raining gold. Novak Djokovic got his long-awaited Olympics gold medal yesterday, and what a way to do it, against the prodigy, Alcaraz, on clay court, a guy that has beaten him 3 times.
The next tennis goat.
Yeah, the next tennis and all of that. So he finally has his long-awaited medal. Still has the number of Grand Slams.
Of course.
But then this one puts.
This was like the World Cup win for Messi. If you look at it, this was like he has completed tennis now. This was what was left, because he he's the oldest person to compete at the final of the Olympics men's final, and Alcaraz was the youngest ever. So this was a test of time, a test of age, a test of everything. This was like a finale to watch, and it was a very fantastic game. If you watch that final on the court in clay yesterday, and I was very happy for Djokovic. I don't know why a lot of people see him as arrogant. I was just very, very happy for him. He has competed it. He has won it all. Alcaraz definitely still has more time. And looking at the next generation, I feel like, of course, one or two people can always come up, but
it looks like
he's going to get his. Yes, he's going to get his. Yeah. So it was very great for Djokovic to have it. I don't think he will be there at the next one. I think this is the final one. So I'm just very happy for him.
Now let's come back to the world champions in quotes. Last night in the men's 100 meter, the events that capped off the 3 or the 4 of the athletics events at the Stade de France last night. A grand finale in the men's 100 meter, and we have a new Olympic champion.
A new world fastest man.
And a new world fastest man. And there are so many things to talk about in that race because from the semi-finals,
a thrilling race.
It was the first time that a sub-10 did not guarantee a place in the final of the men's 100 meter at the Olympics. And eventually in the final as well, a sub-10 still in fact, did not put you...
A great sub-10.
doesn't put you on the podium.
The people that... Seville finished last at the final.
Yeah.
And Seville's finish was something that could have been a world record in the 90s, in the early 2000s as well. Before Usain Bolt came. That was something that could have won gold medals, and it was just a very, very crazy thrilling race, and it was very, very amazing. In fact, people that are looking at the picture, the last capture over and over again, they keep saying that this guy's leg was already at the line. Yeah, but it is the torso. And that is why it was very, very unique. Just look at Amuson. I trust Amuson. Always stretching that edge. So I mean, it is what it is, and I'm very, very happy for Noah now. He talked this talk. He said it that the NBA champions are not world champions, even if they are playing toughest competition. Just like how Champions League winners are not world champions. Yes. So he said everything. He talked this talk. He knew that the entire USA was going to be against him. Then he came. He won the world championships. Then he went on. He won the Olympic gold medal. I think there's nothing you can say against him at this point in time.
And if you've seen the sprint documentary as well, he says the double is coming. That means there is still the 200 meters to go at the Olympics. Last night it was 9.79. The same time as Kishan Thompson, who is the world fastest man this year. He has the world lead. And Kishan Thompson came out of nowhere until the Jamaican trials, and he set everywhere on fire. He looked very confident. And no allows, he was beaten twice. Once in the heats and once in the semi-final by Oblique Seville, with Oblique Seville looking down on him. The same thing he did some time ago. Yeah. And yes, Lyle said he would remember that, and he delivered when it mattered most. But for all what I call the initial gragra that Nualaus had put off, imagine if he didn't do it.
Imagine. Someone said it. Just imagine if he didn't win. Just imagine. Because same seconds and just like a stretch, just like a 0.005 seconds. That's if not for the recording of time like that they have now, the new technology that they have, it could have easily gone to Thompson. So it was just very, very amazing for Niles. And honestly, I just feel like there's always a bit of luck and a bit of grace to sports as well. Right. So yeah, so I'm very happy for him, and he talked the talk, he walked the walk, he has the gold medal.
And he ran the walk. We'll still come back to the Olympics much later on the show, but first, let's take other stories from the cover of the Punch Sport Extra, which are non-Olympic related. And this is still everywhere. Victor Osimhen is still like the commodity that Roberto Calenda and Napoli are hawking around. The biggest player out of Africa at the moment is still finding a club that will play next season. And it looks like it's definitely not going to be Napoli.
Definitely not going to be Napoli.
We don't know. But from what we reported on today's paper, Chelsea are still in talks to get him. And they also know that Romelu Lukaku has to go in the other direction. Napoli are aware that they won't be able to sign
Lukaku without a share for
Osimhen. They don't let Osimhen go. So the transfer looks evenly poised between the two of them, but it still doesn't look like something that is definite.
Yeah, because obviously Osimhen will still say he wants Champions League football. PSG can offer him more money. PSG can offer him more money based on Chelsea's current wage demands and their FFP issues. So I think that that's the reason why it's unclear. And I blame Napoli for this whole situation by Napoli and maybe Osimhen as well for we're going to sell him. Talking about it before the last season was over, before Chafa window started, and Osimhen also saying that he wants to leave, he wants Premier League, this and that. So there was already too much talk before market has opened, and that is why they are currently in a situation where all the other clubs, all the suitors can wait for Napoli to be more desperate.
Then
to reduce the
130
offer.
million euros.
I think it's too much. I think they already said 110, but even that I still think it's too much. Osimhen is yes, Osimhen, but this whole inflation in the market price, I think Osimhen 85 million is enough. 80 million is enough because of so Napoli can make their profit since they paid 77 or 75 million
to
Lille. So 80 million, let the deal go and let the boy go and start preparing for the next season, please.
At this point. So at this point, we'll just switch to some of our talking points for today, but we won't do that without mentioning the fact that Moses Simon is injured again, and that's something to worry about for Nantes.
Because
he came back too soon.
Yes. And he was playing well in the preseason, but they didn't need to rush him. It is still the preseason. I don't know why. Look at Ilen Euro too, injured. Look at Oiland. I don't know why all this thing that happens with managers trying to rush some players. 10-15 minutes is enough. You can do as many subs as you can do. Let everybody get some minutes in their leg. Let the academy boys play. Moses Simon is one of their best wingers. We look at when they won the cup.
Yeah.
Moses Simon was very instrumental in that run. So I think that they could have let him rest much longer. He's someone that has been injured for so long. I'm very disappointed in them, and let's just hope that they can. Is this club? They will always take care of their players. They will get him ready.
Because the initial injury was even from the national team.
Yes, exactly.
It was on them to get him ready, but they have to deal with.
Doesn't seem long term. Doesn't seem long term though. I think he's going to miss only the start of the season.
The start of the season.
Yeah, he's not going to miss half not like last time that he missed so many games.
Sounded more like they rushed him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they rushed him. He's still having fatigue issues.
All right then, let's move back straight to the talking points, and it's the Olympic season. And what more can we start to talk about at this point other than Team Nigeria's schedule for today? Action-packed, if you ask me, and there has been some in the athletics event this morning with Chidi Okezie running in the repechage of the men's 400 meter, but unfortunately he didn't make it into the semi-finals of the 400 meter. But Samuel Ogazi, who came second in his heat yesterday, has moved straight to the tomorrow's semi-final, but the repechage looked more stretching for Chidi Okezie today, but he still couldn't get it. Fifth in that place, and if you look at it yesterday, he almost could have just gotten an automatic
qualification.
spot. But attention will now be on the men's 4x400 meter relay, which is the grandest, one of the grandest events at the end of the Olympics as well. And of course, we had Ezekiel Nathaniel in the men's 400 meter hurdles earlier this morning, and he was blazing over the hurdles. He's through to the semi-finals already. So let's talk about those two guys. First, Ezekiel Nathaniel, the only contender we have in the men's 400 meter hurdles, and he's through to the semis. Peter, it looks like the semis has been the threshold for most of our guys.
Honestly, looking at the competitions that we left so early out of, we didn't even get to the semi-finals, and then we now get to the semi-finals, we're now coming out again. It seems like we are not going to make any final at this tournament yet. Of course, we still have hopes in Ophelia and Amuso and Bume and Co. But it has just been okay. We've gone to one final actually with our discus thrower Enekwechi. That's the only final we've gone to in this competition. Men's shot put, which also lost yesterday. But it seems like we've been different yesterday. But it seems like we've been having very, I don't say unlucky draws, because this one is a race. This is not like a draw anymore. This is a race for all of you to run your best. Exactly. What's about your quality? But I don't know what it says about our preparation for this Olympics, because someone was saying that it seems that we only prepare for Olympics the year of the Olympics. And Olympics, there's literally a 4-year gap for a reason. You can start preparing from 4 years down the line. Look at other countries preparing from their diamond leagues, from the competition that they have within the season and co. So, but for our 400 meter hurdles guy, I think that what his display proves that maybe yes, he has a bit of confidence and he has a bit of training and he has a bit more to show than the others that we've seen. I won't say that others did not have something to show, but he seems to have a bit more to show than the others.
Let's quickly run back to yesterday. We saw two guys in the semi-finals of the men's 100 meter, Favour Ashe and Konisola Ajayi. Favour Ashe was disappointing in the heats. He picked the last non-automatic spot to make the semis, but he proved his mettle in the semi-finals. It was a fast track. I mean, it was a fast field.
Yes.
Every other guy on that lineup.
Honestly, in fact, if you look at it, he was actually keeping up with them. Yeah, and it seemed like he had a very good first 14. Yes, like I think he boosted very, very early on.
In the first 14.
So he was going, and then it seemed like at that last edge, that last 0.10 seconds that was needed to be with them, he just couldn't keep up anymore. You could see that he was tired. He wasn't even running anymore. He was already stopping at the end. So honestly, that 100 meters is something else right now. Someone was saying yesterday on Twitter that after the race on Twitter that we'll continue to clap for all of you. That very soon we'll have our own 100-meter champion, because the 100-meter is something that is very, very crazy. And it was the most interesting thing to watch yesterday. If you see right after it, that even the competition, the race, what everybody was saying about it, the competition at that stage was just very massive. And I think that they can still be proud of themselves for getting to where they got to. They can really be, because this was their first Olympics as well.
And the boy from Ikorodu, Koinsola Ajayi.
Yeah, Koinsola Ajayi.
He started running in 2021, discovered at a school competition in Lagos here. Then he started running, joined the Lagos, ran at the Lagos.
19.
Yes, 19. Ran at the Lagos Athletics Series in early 2003 before going to university in the US earlier this year. And he's been blazing the track, burning the tracks everywhere until he ran 10.00 seconds some weeks ago in Switzerland or so before the start of the Olympic Games. So that was in season's best.
Yes, and then at the Olympics.
And then at the Olympics. He ran 10.16 in the semi-final. Not bad.
Not bad, honestly. Not bad, to be honest.
But I wish we had a situation whereby we had a back-to-back finalist in the men's 100 meter. In Tokyo, we had Enoch Adegoke. If not for the unfortunate injury, maybe, and just maybe, he would have been in contention for a medal, but he didn't finish in that final. We could have just repeated the same thing. Koinsola at some point was looking
he was looking like it. Especially after the heat.
Beating Marcel Lamont Jacobs in one of those heats was a big deal.
It was, I think he had a sub 10.
No, he didn't have a sub 10. He was targeting a sub 10 at the Olympics.
Okay, yeah, he said it. He was targeting a sub 10 at the Olympics. But for someone that started in 2021, I think they had a very good tournament. And as a 19-year-old, if he keeps up and they prepare him and keeps going on this way, I think at the next Olympics we have a very strong contender if he keeps on. Of course, Lars is still there. Of course, he's still very young, but I think that if we have someone that we can now build on, we can now focus on now as our 100-meter boy. So
Koinsola Ajayi, Favour Ashe, they can only keep their heads up. And of course, Chidi Okezie is already out of the men's 400-meter, but we still have Samuel Ogazi running in the semi-finals tomorrow. But Ezekiel Nathaniel is through to the semi-finals of the 400-meter hurdles. But unfortunately, Esther Joseph and Ella Onojuvevu would have to run in the repechage of the women's 400-meter event tomorrow as well. In their heat this morning, they weren't just apart. I understand Ella even started and blazed the track ahead of everyone, but in the last 200 meters, she fizzled out and they could only manage 5th or 6th position, but they will still come back tomorrow. The repechage to me seems like, why not just pick the fastest qualifying times rather than make them run
repechage again? Because after most of the time, people that run repechage, they rarely make it because they've spent a lot of energy.
And most of them that make it into the semi-finals eventually, they've run more races.
Yes, exactly.
Than so those that qualified automatically.
They've bought a lot of things. So I feel like they can just calculate like how they do in it. Calculate the fastest time for the automatic qualification, next fastest time for and then just let them go on and just do it. But they know why they do it that way. Let's just see.
Well, in less than 30 minutes from now, we will see the first wrestler in action. Silver medalist from Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games and the person that has won Nigeria's only medal in wrestling at the Olympics. Blessing Oborodudu, 15-time African champion.
She needs no introduction.
Competing in the quarterfinals of our event. And if she makes it, the semi-finals is still later tonight as well.
Yeah, and if she makes it to the semi-finals, she's already assured of a bronze. Because for wrestlers, they will win 2 bronzes once in the semi-final. So I think if she can qualify today, already assured of a bronze. And of course, that will not be enough for her because for someone that has won a silver medal and someone that told you that you cannot retire her, you cannot retire her, she wants an upgrade. And I think she's wrestling is honestly the question I'm most excited about. I was excited about the boxers as well, but we've seen what happened. And I'm very excited for wrestling. I'm very, very, very saddened and disappointed if we finish wrestling without a gold medal. I don't even mean anything. Without a gold medal, I'm very disappointed.
Without a gold medal and maybe plus some
other medals. I think I'm very, very confident in the wrestlers. But let me not jinx it because this is the Olympics. This is the grandest stage of for athletes. But I'm very, very confident, and I think Oburu Dudu, yes, she can qualify. Our opponent is not pushover, but Oburu Dudu has that determination. She has that training. She has that experience. She's the captain of the team for a reason. So let's just see what she's going to bring out.
So finally for Team Nigeria today, we will have 2 people in the 200 meter, a man and a woman. First of all, by 7:45 p.m., Favour Ofili will be running in the semi-final of the women's 200 meter, while Udodi Onwu-Zurike will also be competing in the men's heat of the 200 meter final. Onwu-Zurike is one guy that people have tipped as one of the best sprinters in the country at the moment, and I'm glad this guy is making his debut at the Olympics. So he's running in the heat. Shouldn't be a problem for him to make the semis.
No problem. No problem at all.
And for Favour Ofili,
no problem at all for the final.
Now, it's about the final this time around, and it's about getting a medal for someone who we thought should have been able to do something in the 100 meters. She said she's more than ready and even mentally ready for the 200 meters. How easy is it going to come in the 200 meters?
Definitely not easy. Definitely not easy because gold medalists from the 100 meters is going to be competing with her. And you know there's an euphoria when you've already won a medal. And they're going to be pushing her on and pushing her forward. And then also she has a lot of other contenders across the line that are very, 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 very renowned. Some of them have also won medals at this stage before. This is our first Olympics, which is not supposed to be our first Olympics. This is our second Olympics. But this is our first time running at this stage because of what happened in Tokyo 2020 as well.
Where she couldn't compete.
Yeah, so I think that all those things usually pushes someone to a greater height. And based on our display yesterday as well, she was relaxed. It didn't seem like she was pushing herself too much to get that time. And she finished second only because I think also that she was slowing down at the end to try to keep up some energy.
First.
Yes, and she was first in her heat, but not first overall. She was second overall.
Yeah, second fastest time. Only
time.
Gabby Thomas had a better time than her.
And that was also because I feel like she was keeping. She didn't seem like she was under pressure. She seemed very, very relaxed. She was giving me Amuson vibes from the World Championship.
For me, from what I saw in that heat, she ran a season's best in that.
Yeah, exactly. Her season's best.
I was listening to some ex-athletes on a Twitter space last night, and a 200-meter specialist was talking about running a season's best in your heat. You need more than 24 hours to recover before your next race. Is this something we have to be wary of?
Yeah, I think you also said it about Rosemary Chukuma when she ran her season's best in her heat.
In her heat too.
And then when she got to the semi-final, she couldn't get up to that at all. So yeah, but I think that maybe she feels like she has been resting. You know, she was supposed to compete in the 100 meters, 200 meters. Maybe she feels like she has been resting. Exactly. She has been training. She has been keeping herself up, and I feel like Ofili's training level is different from how we train here in Nigeria in a way. She has a lot of competitions this year as well. So I really have a lot of faith in her. Let's just see.
I think of all Nigerian athletes, she has run the most races this season.
Yes, she has. She has run the most races this season. I think she has also won the most, honestly, yeah.
Let's just keep our fingers crossed and wish our Favour Ofili and of course Chidi Udodi Onwuzurike well in their 200-meter events this evening. And we'll also be looking forward to see 15-time African champion Blessing Oborodudu, silver medalist from the Tokyo 2020
World champion in Birmingham.
And of course, let's see how easy she will be able to get an upgrade from silver to gold this time around at the Olympic Games. Now let's switch back from to basketball and talk about the D Tigers, who will be facing the world's best team in women's basketball, the USA, in the quarterfinals. A lot of people have been rumbling.
A team of superstars.
This is some people have said this is like
our bus stop, final bus stop.
But some people have said no, we've been fighting.
Yes. If there's anything that can always beat the odds, I think it's always the Nigerian teams, not the Tigers, Falcons, even Super Eagles. As bad as anything can be, anything that they can always expect something to just happen like that. They are the ones. Before the game against Canada, I was skeptical. I was like, it's like we are out again at the group stage again. We're not going to get to the next stage. But then I was like, this is the Tigers. They've done this.
The draws,
honestly,
out before any ball was even bounced.
Honestly, but there's always a never say that attitude about Nigeria, and that was something I like about them. So I think that yes, we always have a chance, and let's just see. Let's see.
So here is the full quarterfinal schedule of the women's basketball event. We have Serbia against Australia, the first one. Spain against Belgium, Germany against France, and Nigeria against the USA. All the games are coming up on Wednesday. But some people have been asking, why did we even finish third in our group after winning 2 of our matches? It's about the number of points we scored. And that is the difference between us and Australia. While Australia had 211 points scored, Nigeria could only manage 208. Although we beat Australia, but from FIBA rules, the first thing they would have to look at is the points accrued before they go to whatever head-to-head. And that's why we finished third, and that's why we are facing the United States of America in the quarterfinals of our event. And, a lot has been said about how much Rena Wakama's ladies, but honestly, if you look at their influence and the individual brilliance that some of these players bring into it, they might just have a chance.
Because honestly, before the Olympics, in the All-Star game, we had this lady win the All-Star MVP.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Ogun. And then before the Olympics as well, Isn't Kalu was not in the team for some of the preps to the team, and we saw that change as well. We saw that change some things as well in the team. So I think that this is you know what you are saying about point difference and everything, all that. Even if we can win by 1 point, even if we can win by 2 points, we are moving on to the next stage. And yes, the USA have some very good shooters, have some very good dribblers, and have everything. Like I say, yes, they have and that. But these are players that they are under a coach that has trained in that system as well. They are players that have also played in that system as well. This is not like us going to Olympics with the men's team that some of our players are from Nigeria, and only 1 or 2 players from that system there. But we have a team that a lot of our team is from that system, from where the USA plays. So I think that I really think we do have a chance, honestly, because what we cannot beat them at might be out shooting them, but what we can beat them at will be out painting them, out running for the plus minus negatives, and running for the differential. So I think that we do have a good chance.
Oh well,
obviously not the best chance. We would obviously not want to have played the #1 team at this stage of the competition, but we do have a very good chance.
Well, let's just take a look at the medals table before we run out on the show today. China are still there with 21 gold, 17 silver, and 13 bronze medals, and they are closely followed by the United States, who have 19 gold, 27 silver, and 26 bronze medals. The problem with the USA is they lose too many finals, isn't it?
Well, so you were saying that as well. So the thing about USA and China is that USA fans have been saying that. When we get to the athletics, when we get to the athletics.
But they've only had one individual medal in athletics.
And now that the athletics is here, they have been messing up by themselves by getting bronze, getting silver medals.
Look at the mixed 4x400 meter relay, which they lost to the Netherlands. They were leading until Femke Bol came out of nowhere. The lady who fell at the World Championships on the last leg, it was an atonement for her. And she just breezed from 4th position, breezed past everyone and the United States anchor to win gold for Netherlands in the mixed 4x100 meter. And
something like yesterday, I'm thinking that it was theirs.
And look at Sha'Carri Richardson as well in the women's 100 meter. She was good. She was as good as getting the gold in that event. Yes. But Julian Alfred, St. Lucia.
St. Lucia's first Olympic medal, and it was a gold medal. And then I'm sure that what USA was thinking was that their competitor was China. But no, their competition was the world. Yeah. And China was beating the world at those early competitions and getting their gold medals. And now USA has to beat the world to get enough gold medals to bounce China. Well,
France, the host nation, are 3rd on the medals table with 12 gold, 14 silver, and 18 bronze medals.
Respectable.
Very respectable, if you ask me.
Yeah, respectable.
But for Team Nigeria, we are still waiting and we are still hoping that we get a color, any color of medal.
Any color. Just give us one.
On the medals table. So, finally on the show, before we go, we won't leave you without telling you that football is gradually coming back in Europe. And even in Nigeria, August 31st, the MPFL will resume. But first, the Community Shield in England is coming up this weekend. And maybe we've seen a dress rehearsal from Manchester City in the United States store. And Manchester United too will be gearing up. But I think there's a lot of headache for each manager. And Eric Ten Hag seems to have the biggest headache
with his injuries. I think that it's looking like Manchester City again will beat Man U as they have been beating Man U in recent times. But Ten Hag, like you said, both managers have their issues. Guardiola has his own issues as well. Guardiola's system is good for role players, but Ten Hag's system is not good without his first team. So which is why it may seem like his issues are more. But let's see. At the FA Cup as well, everybody was saying that Man City would win it. Until so let's just see. Let's hope for Man United. But no. Please, we are objective here. Let's hope that they give us a good